Secrets of the Pros here, and today we're going to be doing a very special one on Photoshop, creating your mixtape art design for your artists or your studio rhythms. And we want to shout out to all our subscribers. We thank you for supporting DYS. And we're currently at 162 guys and girls, so keep it coming. Let us hit 200. We're going to release another full mixing video from start to finish, show you how we mix and master all the secrets of the pros. And let's jump right into it. Now we're going to be designing this right here. This is the new rhythm, Soca Playground Rhythm by DYS, Department of Youth Services, here in number 55 Regent Street. And you might look at this artwork and say, man, this thing look complicated, but we're going to show how we get that little 3D glitch effect right here, which we have some lighting effects, right? So let's get right into it. Let's bring back the rhythm once more. This is the rhythm right here. I'll be hearing a lot of it soon. So to start off, it's not hard to do something like this, guys. Let me go on. First of all, I'm using Photoshop 2018. I'm gonna go on File. I'm gonna go on Open. And here I have my material here. There's a PNG of the girl. I believe it's Shakira. The Belize flag. And let's see, we have the city background of a playground here, and that's what we're going to use, right? So I'm going to open the background. It's about 1920 1080p is about HD video size, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to double click on the padlock here. I'm going to bring in my material. Let's bring in the girl. There she is. Now don't panic, guys. I'm going to fix this. Hold Shift and Alt. Let's bring her about down to that range. Let's see what we got here. Just to speed things up a bit. So her hair is about, let's say maybe about here. Now the key to get our artwork like this, we have to match the perspective, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna Command T and I'm gonna enlarge in the background a little bit. Okay, maybe something like this. Now this is a very challenging task because we want to make it look like she's actually in the playground first of all, so I'm gonna scale up a little bit. We need to get it to look just right, so I'm gonna play around with the background a little bit here, maybe about, let's see what we have here. I think in this picture I'm gonna bring her down just a little bit. Let's manipulate the background a little bit here. I'm gonna take the background up. Let's say maybe about there. So check this out. Right now we have some exposing parts in the transparency here, so I'm gonna use my selection tool and I'm gonna use fill. Sorry, I'm going on stroke here. I'm gonna select fill and go to content aware, and I'm gonna fill that part there, so we have that. I'm gonna bring in the girl, and we have something close to what we have here originally, right? So we're making progress. Maybe you can enlarge her a little bit. Now the first thing we want to do Like how she's a PNG. She's already cut out, but we're gonna make some adjustment here. So I'm gonna go on levels here. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna darken the background a little bit here. Maybe about there. Give it a little contrast there. And I'm gonna do the same thing with her. Let's darken her a little bit here. Let's bring back the tune here. Now we want to match the darkness on the brightest parts, right? So the darkness in here matches the background. I'm gonna be moving fairly fast here, so here's a trick to get everything blended. I'm gonna make a copy of the background. I'm gonna put it to the top, and I'm gonna go to blur average. I'm gonna switch to color, and I'm gonna bring down the opacity here, so she takes the saturation of the background. And I'm gonna create a new layer here. I'm gonna go to, first of all, let's create an adjustment layer here. Switch it to soft light. This automatically kind of brings in a little bit of shadow, so I can bring down the opacity. Maybe about there. Before, after. Give it a little bit of depth. And what we can do is also create a layer, fill it with black. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna switch it to soft light, and I'm gonna get my brush tool, and I'm gonna brush around here. Maybe right about here. I'm gonna give it the vignette effect here. Maybe something like that. Now, what I like to work on first is details, right? So let's create a new layer. I'm gonna call this light. I'm gonna switch it to screen mode, and I'm gonna select that brownish color, and I'm gonna hit it maybe about there. I'm gonna enlarge the brush maybe there. You can switch that mode to maybe something like linear light, so it has a little bit of orange in it. So it looks like the sunlight is actually hitting her, right? Now I'm gonna go on filter camera on the background. I'm gonna manipulate the background here. Gonna bring down the highlights a bit here. I'm gonna push the shadows. And I'm gonna boost some of the clarity here. I'm gonna hit OK. And then I'm gonna go to filter, I'm gonna go to noise, I'm gonna go to reduce noise, so we can have that kind of cartoonish effect. Now I'm gonna go on the girl. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Camera. One moment here, just let me switch up my song here a little bit. So I'm gonna bring down the highlights for her a little bit here. I'm gonna push up the shadows, and I'm gonna boost the clarity a little bit there. Maybe just about there. I'm gonna hit OK. And there we're already getting that cartoon kind of feel, right? Now we can use the smudge tool here, and we can smudge parts of her face. And what we're gonna do also, I'm gonna get a little bit of vibrance. I'm gonna push the vibrance a little bit, give her a little bit more saturation there. Here's the before after. Let's give her a little bit of depth. Also, we want to create a depth of field, so I'm going to go to convert smart filters. I'm going to go to blur, and we're going to blur this a bit, and I'm going to use the mask here, and we're going to be brushing away certain parts of behind her, right? There we go. It's looking a little bit better there. Now we're gonna try and draw in some shadows. So I'm gonna show you a move here. I'm gonna make a selection of it, and I'm gonna go on a new layer. I'm gonna fill that layer with black. So we have, okay, hold up. Yes, we're gonna fill this layer here with black. I might as well paint it in. Let me go to my brush tool here. One moment, guys. Or what we can do, okay, there we go. We make her black, and I'm gonna duplicate that. Just gonna call it shadow, right? Maybe shadow 2. Now there are multiple ways you can do this, guys. I'm gonna put one in front of her and one at the back of her. So the one at the back, we're already having a little bit of shadow here. So so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna blur it a little bit. Just gonna add a little bit of texture. I don't wanna blur it too much, so we get something like this. And we can layer mask that, and we can get rid of the parts we don't need. Maybe I could leave some of the shadow in her here. Something like that. So we have a shadow behind her, right? So let's turn on the front one here, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna blur. I'm gonna blur this part here. Now remember, there's more than one ways you can do this, guys. Let's drop the opacity down a little bit here. Just creating some shadows here. Trying to create some realistic shadows, right? So we have the back shadow and we have the front shadow. Okay, that's looking okay. Let's see what happens if we go in a soft light. Remember, I don't have time to experiment. I'm just gonna get straight to it. Okay, maybe right about there, revealing the feet. Let's go at the bottom here. There we go. Now it looks like she's sitting on the ground here. And one quick way we can do some rim light is just go on effects, blending. I'm gonna switch on the bevel, and here we have some beveling. Here on her forehead. If I turn the button on and off, there you can see the rim light happening around her. So I'm gonna bring down the size just a little bit there, And I'm gonna turn on the inner shadow. This is giving more highlights around her, so we can have the highlights around her feet here. And we turn on the inner glow. We can even add more highlights beside her here. So first of all, we have the before and after. There is her without the shadows. We can put the shadows by duplicating the layer, and that's how we create that right there. So that's for the details. So what we can do, just like part one, what I had was an optic flare. If I can drag that and bring this in here, we can isolate that, maybe put it somewhat over here, and switch the color. Maybe we'll leave it at blue, or maybe we'll leave it at, let's leave it at blue. So we're creating that space, right? Now let's go on to our next element here, which we have. I'm gonna look for the fence, right? Now also, before I put the fence in, here's the Belize flag, and I'm gonna show you a trick here that we did. Originally, we put the Belize flag on the ground like it's a mat. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move the flag up. Let's go about here. I'm gonna create a new layer. This is gonna be my vanishing point. I'm gonna call it VP. I'm gonna hold down Command A, Command C. Actually, I'm gonna hold Command A, Command C on the flag. Sorry. Click on the blank layer. I'm gonna go down to filter. I'm gonna go to vanishing point, and I'm gonna draw the grid line to where about the ground is. Maybe something like maybe about there. And when I'm happy with that, I'm gonna Command V. I'm gonna bring in the flag here, and it's gonna stick to that surface. So there we have the flag. I know it's a little bit big, but let's resize it. And I'm gonna bring it down a little bit there. And of course, we can add a layer mask. Add a layer mask here. We could mask out some of the edges, so it looks like it's actually on the ground here. And of course, we can go down to the same effects, bevel, and turn on inner shadow, inner glow, and here we're getting that look like it's like a 3D mat. I can adjust the flag and bring it down a little bit more. And there we have something like that. Now we're gonna bring in the chain link fence. So I'm gonna drag it in. This is already transparent, so I'm gonna maybe move it to the side here and enlarge it. So I'm gonna move the chain link so we can see see the girl, right? Now to get that depth of field look, let's drop the saturation a little bit for the fence here, and I'm gonna blur the fence off also. Maybe right about there, right? So, and remember, details play a major role, guys. Now what I can do with this flag is I can make a copy of it, or make a selection better. Create a new layer, and I'm gonna fill it with black. And we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna create that shadow effect, right? So if I switch it to soft light, or let's leave it at normal, and I'm gonna get the brush tool, I'm gonna drop the opacity, and I'm gonna brush away certain parts here, just trying to create that realistic feel, right? Like the sun rays is catching the flag, creating some shadows here. That's the before and after, so it gives a little bit more realistic look. Let's bring in the edges maybe by there, here. Now all that's left is the title. You can pick whatever color font you want. I can just type in soca in the white font here, and I can enlarge it. And I can go and put like a glow around the words, something like that. Now remember that 3D look, we can take off the blue channel, and we can make a duplicate and leave on the red and the green on the second one, and only blue on the second one. You can experiment with these guys. Move it slightly to the right, and there we can create that glitch effect there, like that glitch. We can also make a selection of it, create a new layer, and we can paint in the colors. So I'm going to go to my brush tool, and we give it some blue here, some of the red. I know I'm moving fast, guys, but you get the general idea how we can create a nice mixtape cover. Let's bring in the two texts, and there we have somewhat like a 3D soca feel. Or if you want to, you can go back on your mask tool and mask out this area, bringing in a little bit of black here, get a little bit more depth. Whatever you want to do. And you can go into our text tool. We can go PLAY, playground. Do the same thing. I can either move this up here, enlarge it. Maybe bring it right about here. I can change the font. Maybe something like that. Give it a little bit of glow. I can change the color of the glow, maybe a blue, something like that there, a little bit of bevel there. Whatever colors you want to use, you can use. So there it is, guys, and the finishing touch. Let's bring back my song here. For some reason, I don't know why iTunes is repeating my one song. the other one that I wanted to play. Where is it? We want to finish it off with some color correction, so I'm gonna go on selective color here, and I'm gonna go down to the neutrals. I'm gonna bump up the cyan a little bit here. I'm gonna drop the yellows a little bit. Probably gonna go to the reds. Maybe back off on the red a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Let's see what happens if I boost the yellow a little bit. If I bring it down, boost the yellow, I have that turquoise look, that orange teal. What happens if I use a magenta? There we go, before and after, right? So there it is, guys. It's something close to where we did this. Well, obviously I spent a little more time on this one, but you get the general idea. This is how we create a mix art cover, and I hope you guys tune in on our YouTube page. Let us hit 200 subscribers. I'm going to be releasing mixing videos and Photoshop videos. So we're going to catch you on the next one, guys.